Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with another Sort My Stash 2024 video, and this is going to be part 8. And also, as always, we cannot really talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea, and today this tea is an Earl Grey tea with a flavor of a bergamot. It's lovely. As you see, I'm actually wearing a crocheted piece here, and this crocheted piece is the Barbara Bolero, which means that it's basically quite this short pattern that's keeping your shoulders and neck warm, and of course also your arms. It is basically one big piece where you create this opening where you can put your arms in. It's crocheted in the round from one end to the other end. I did only slight bit color control this, which means that when I was adding the new skeins to the project, that I ensured it was the same color that I would continue using as where it ended. That's it. The rest turned out like this. So it's pure coincidental that the pattern matches like this. Based on my own personal size, because this bolero can be made to fit exactly your choice of yarn and your size, very simple and easily. And to do so, basically I made a tutorial for this, and that tutorial you can find linked at the very end of this video, or just up here, maybe up there. I will leave a link as well for this tutorial should you be interested in making it. The only thing is the tutorial is one of my first tutorials and it's made in a different yarn. But the way of doing it is the exact same results of using these yarns. These yarns I used the Carnival yarns from Hobby in the colorway Copenhagen, for those that's curious. But we are not here to talk about my bolero. It's only for those that was curious about it. We are here to talk about the yarn and my yarn stash. And the yarn that we're going to go through today is a cake yarns. I have some alpaca cakes, I have some merino cakes, and I have some Wolle1000 of their own cakes. They call them bubbles. So yeah, we are going to go through that box. And just before going through that box, I am going to give you a quick sneak peek of the box. And I do warn you, it will contain some crinkling in this video because all of these cakes, they are still backed up. And I keep the bags around them to help protect the yarn as I do have my yarns in the cake bags, I am unable to have them stashed in a nice wall. I wish I could, but I just don't have the room for it currently. And I would need to do quite some sorting of things should I be able to actually manage to do that sometime out in the future. It's a bit undecided what's going to happen, but until then I keep my yarns nicely stashed away in boxes. And in those boxes, some of the yarns still have their bags around them to basically protect them against the surroundings. But yeah, let's have a look at the yarns. Here you can see the box of yarns. We have some merino flowers, we have some flowers alpaca, but here we have the Wolle1000's own brand. So, and it is stacked because below you find more. Look here, we have more down there. So let's go through these yarns together. I'm just gonna pick up, so we keep them within the same yarn specifications. That allows us to go a little bit quicker through this. Plus you do not get to hear me repeating myself when I'm talking about the yarn contents and breakdowns of each yarn, which I think is sort of a bit of a shame. So what I am doing here is I am sort of just quickly pulling out the yarns that I have from this, just to easier be able to go through them one by one individually. I think that's basically the easiest way of doing this. That's my end conclusion. Now I have a bunch of yarns in front of me. That's not too bad. Let's start with the Flowers Merino. Flowers Merino is a YarnArt cake. And they feel pretty big, right? Like, they are big. They're also thicker. It's some of their thicker yarns. Ta-da! It's gorgeous, this one. That is for sure. It's a colorway 531. And as mentioned, it is the YarnArt Flowers Merino. This cake is 225 grams. So that is 3.52 ounces. I can't make that math add up though. It's not. They must have made a typo here. Because 225 grams, like 3.5 ounces is 100. It's double. So it's 7.5-ish ounces. Typo. I got a typo. Okay, cool. It is 590 meters long. So that's 645 yards. It is 25% wool and it is 75% acrylic. It does not say if it's merino wool or whatnot, but it feels of a woolen. It feels scarfable, so that's nice. It is a 3 weight. I think I'll agree because they're definitely thicker than the counterparts of the flowers. They can wash at 30 degrees Celsius, so 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Iron at low, lay flat to dry, can be dry cleaned, do not bleach, do not tumble dry. They recommend a 4.5mm knitting needles or 5mm crochet hook for this. They say you need a bit more than 2 of these to crochet or knit a medium-sized sweater. And yeah, as mentioned, they classify this as a light 3. It is machine washable, dry, flat, do not bleach. Yep, we just discussed that. Colorway 531. I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous purple. I have no plans for this, to be honest. I really don't. Many of these yarns, sometimes I bought multiple because maybe I wanted to make a sweater or maybe I wanted to, who knows, like a scarf or a shawl or, and right now I'm just sitting here and my conclusion is more and more often, I'm not really sure what I'm going to make of this. It could be that I'm ending up giving it away or selling it, but that's the first. Then I have 2 more flowers merino. And they are 2 are the same, so I have 4 in total, so 2 are the same of each. So I'm just going to take out one of them and leave the other one in the bag because that makes most sense. This is the other one, which is this gorgeous, gorgeous black one that goes to the gray into this sandy colors. And this, I definitely had maybe a punch on mine, but I'm definitely unsure if that's even possible with this size to do 2, looking at how far I have done similar projects. But as I said, I'm not really sure. I'm not 100% sure where we are headed at. And that's okay. That's okay. 553 is the colorway and the lot is 147. But 553 here is a lot of this absolutely gorgeous color. And as I said, I have 2 of them, which means that I can make a larger project, should I choose to do so, which is nice to know, right? Like, it could also be that I make a nice large shawl, because I do have like 200 and, no, not 200, 1,200, 1,300 yards, almost 1,400 yards of yarn. Yeah, 1,300 yards of yarn I have of the same, so there's definitely the opportunity to make some nice project, and it might not be impossible to make a poncho of it if you're not choosing a 2 yarn stitch eating one, is my thought. So it could be that I end up doing it. Then the second one I have, and again I also have 2 of the same here, so one I'm just gonna put away, is this gorgeous one, which is a blue, but still blue to more blue, so we end up in this gray. And as you can see, they also all have center pull tabs. This one is colorway 540, and I have 2 of them. which I think is gorgeous as well, right? Like, it is gorgeous. Somehow this just feels denser compared to this one. And I think they are just wound up differently because it does seem bigger, but I know they're the same. So I think this is looser and this is wound up a little bit tighter on the machine at the factory. It's cool. I have to. That's absolutely wonderful. So the next yarn I have, we have now done with the YarnArt Flowers Merino. So there are no YarnArt Flowers Merino left in this crate, and that are all those I have, which is 5 in total, where 1 purple, 1 black sandy, and 1 blue to gray. Of the last 2, I have 2 of each, worth to say. Then I have a YarnArt Flowers Alpaca. And I have worked with the YarnArt Flowers Alpaca in the sense of we have the inlined alpaca poncho that I've been making. And it is an absolutely wonderful yarn to work with. It's so soft, and you know, it really makes me crave to work more with it. And this one, my idea for this particular one, which I'm going to show you in a minute, is to create a scarf or shawl. There's a nice pattern on Hobby's website, so that is probably the one I might end up making. The YarnArt Flowers Alpaca, which is basically the same as Hobby's Wheel of Alpaca. I do not have the yarns to prove it, but I'm quite sure it's made on the same factory, just different yarn labels and different prices. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. We have this a bright teal blue to a more like sky blue to lighter grays to a darker gray. I think it's gonna be an absolutely gorgeous shawl. So that's why I want to make the shawl from it. Logic. It is 250 grams, and for those 250 grams you get 940 meters of yarn. That is translated into US terms 8.8 ounces to 1,027 yards. It's 20% alpaca and 80% acrylic. Colorway 412, so 412. And they say this is a 2-weight yarn. I kind of say it depends, because if we really string it out and stretch it, yes, 2-weight. So it's probably more like 2.5 weight, I would personally say. Lay flat to dry, can be ironed at low, can be dry cleaned, hand wash at 30 degrees, so 85 degrees Fahrenheit, dry flat, do not bleach, do not tumble dry. They say you need 2 of these to make a sweater, or 1 for a shawl. 1 is perfect because I'm planning to make a shawl. They say 3.5mm crochet hook or 3.5mm knitting needles. I've worked with a larger hook in the past, and it works up still quite nicely. I say make a swatch, find out the hook size that you feel is fitting your project when you work with this yarn, because it's really having some air to it due to this alpaca wool there is in it. And it remains gorgeous. I really like this color. So I'm looking forward to make a shawl from this. That is definitely gonna be a future project of mine, not too far out in the future, I hope. Then I have 2 more alpaca flowers, and they are the same. So this is again one of those where I will remain one in the bag because it just makes most sense. And it is this a green to cream white faded wheel. Look here, it's a darker greens, navy greens, forest greens to brighter green slowly. A little bit of olive green, lime green, cream white. I have 2 of them because again, I could make a poncho or a bigger project or a sweater. Might actually be tempted to make a sweater. I'm just wondering if this is my color. I'm not 100% sure when I'm seeing it like this. Maybe. Could be my color, I guess. Maybe. Again, yarn specs are the same as before, so I need 2 of them to make, for example, a sweater. And I do have 2 of them, so I could make a sweater of it. Actually, I could. I'm tempted. Maybe. Or a new inlines poncho if somebody is interested. But it's gorgeous. It's very gorgeous. I really like this one. It is the colorway of 401, if we didn't talk about that one yet. Colorway 401. So that is my YarnArt in this batch. Then I have 4 cakes left from, actually I have 5 cakes left from a Wolle1000. Wolle1000 is a German yarn store. And they have some absolutely gorgeous yarns. And they have their own cake brands, cake lines. And yeah, I think let's peek into it and have a closer look to these cakes and what they are about. Because I definitely want to make shawls of these. And yeah, I'm not really sure, sure where to start, but they are all in these cellophane things. So I'm just gonna take them out carefully, and then we will wrap them up later, not together, but when I'm done, I will wrap them up and put them back in the bag. I have here an absolutely gorgeous yarn. Isn't this gorgeous? Darker teals to lighter teals to more sandy colors. And when I see this, I'm like, this reminds me of a cake from Linda Hobby. And it might be. This is the Wolle1000 own brand. They name them Puzzle. 250 grams is in this one. So that is 8.8 ounces, which is about 1,000 meters of yarn. So it's about 1,093 yards. It says 55% organic cotton and 45% anti-pilling acrylic. So it is a yarn blend. It's very, very soft. And looking at these, on this one, I have the feeling that this might be like the Linda Hobby's new, they have a flower cake. I think it's called Flowers or something like that. Or not Flowers. Blossom? Bloom? I don't remember. It's not their soft cakes, but Linda Hobby have a different new cake, and this yarn specs and color eyes really looks like it. Unfortunately, I don't have a cake of that brand yet from Linda Hobby. What I will do is I'm probably gonna, next time I'll make a yarn order with Linda Hobby, I will get some of their cakes of the things I think are the same, and then I'll make a comparison video for you guys, because that's quite interesting. I do believe that this is not Wolle1000's own yarn brand. I believe it's probably, yeah, it says here made in Turkey. So I can imagine there's a yarn mill that is selling different yarns to different stores under their store's own yarn labels. That seems logic to me. And that wouldn't be the first we hear of that either. But let's talk about the specs on this behind. It is a multiple stranded yarn. Actually, in fact, it is a 4-stranded yarn. I see 4 strands here. A bit difficult to see because it's white on white, but there are 4 strands that you hold together to create your yarn. They say you need 2 of these to make a t-shirt or 1 for a shawl. It is classified super fine. I'm probably more inclined to say it's a 2-weight. Wash at 40 degrees, so 104 degrees Fahrenheit. They recommend a 3mm crochet hook. You could probably also do 3.5 without issues. 2.5mm knitting needles. I'm not really a knitter. I'm not gonna judge on that. And this one is named 45, so I assume it is their colorway of 45. And I said made in Turkey. It is gorgeous colors. So the next 3 cakes will have the exact same yarn specs because it is the same puzzle. The only difference are color differences. This is a colorway 29, and I think this is freaking gorgeous. Yeah, no words. It's just gorgeous. I can imagine this making the most beautiful shawl. It's gorgeous, very gorgeous. And it's soft. It is really, it's very nice and soft. But I think this is gorgeous. Then I have 2 more, and they are slight different colors. One is quite colorful, and the other one is a little bit more autumn, maybe sun. colors. The first one here is the colorway 3. Burnt orange to brighter orange to more like sun orange to I would say sandy or beige white, raw white, cream white. And I don't feel it's white, especially if I compare it with the center white of this. This is not as flashy white. This is more cream white. I still think it's an absolutely gorgeous color though, and it will make a beautiful scarf or shawl. Because again, I think I just like making shawls, scarves. Then we have this one, which is almost like a rainbow color. We start with a fuchsia, 2 green, 2 yellows, 2 oranges here in the center. I think it is a gorgeous color blend, absolutely gorgeous. This one is colorway 26. And last time I checked on the website, they don't actually have that many left of these. So I wonder if they're being sold out or what's going on. But I think it's gorgeous as well. Absolutely gorgeous. My problem is I guess you could say that I do hoard yarn a bit. And I kind of like to have something replacing what I'm using. But I need to be better at being like, you can't have a collection of everything. Because basically I'd need a bigger house. And housing in the Netherlands is quite expensive, and I have no plans of moving anytime soon. The last cake I have is a bigger cake, and it is probably the biggest cake of this lot, and it is also again one of their big cakes. It is the colorway 8, and this one is double the size of the ones we just discussed, which means that it's also double the mounts. So look at this gorgeous fella. This is a ½ kilo cake, so 500 grams. So it's 17.6 ounces of yarn. No. Yeah. 17.6 ounces of yarn. So it's a double the size of these. You can see it's taller, you can see it's wider. It's just the double. That's 2,000 meters of yarn, so that is almost, not completely, 2,200 yards. So it's 2,185 maybe yards. Isn't this gorgeous? I love it. We have a very dark navy to a lighter blue, so dark navy, lighter blue. We go into purple. That goes into brighter purple, that goes into this white. I think it's a gorgeous shade. 2,000 meters of this gorgeous fella. And it's gonna turn into a shawl because there are multiple shawls, absolutely gorgeous shawls on websites like Etsy that requires quite some more yardage for their shawls than just the regular 1,000 meters. So my idea was this would turn into a perfect bigger sized shawls. They do also all have center pulls, except for that the yarn specs are the same. So it is 55% cotton and it is a 45% acrylic. And they recommend 2.5 to 3 millimeters. I think I would probably go 3 millimeter, maybe 3.5 for this. It's gorgeous. I really love this one. That's all my yarns. Hey, if you like yarn content, don't forget to subscribe because I forgot to mention that sometime in this video. But hit that subscribe button, hit the like and the thumbs up down below. Stay tuned because next week I will be back with a new sort my stash video. And of course, as always, I also have my weekly yarn talks and more yarn content on this channel. So if you do like yarn and crochet related things, yeah, stay around and join my Yarny family. Thank you very much. And then I'm gonna be say happy crafting, take care, until I see you again. Bye.